Hello friends, welcome to Ecomed, where economics is simplified and made easy for you. This is our second class. In the first class, we have discussed about our syllabus, that is new syllabus of our standard, where we saw that the syllabus of the economics. In the last standard, we have studied the economics definitions and the different types of concepts in the economics. In this standard, we are going to study in the first chapter, that is introduction to microeconomics and macroeconomics. So this is our first chapter of the 12th standard, and let's see that what is there in this chapter. So you can just see that in the introduction to micro and macroeconomics, in the last standard also we have studied this to some extent, but not in the depth. This year we are going to focus on microeconomics and macroeconomics. Let's discuss it. So the term micro and macro, these are the two main Greek words, and which was derived from these two Greek words. The origin is from the Greek. You just have to understand their original words. So mikros is the word which was used for the micro, and this macros is the word which is used for the macro. And these two words were first coined by Ragnar Frisch in 1933. So please keep this in mind. There might be a question in the exam when micro and this macro word was coined and who coined these words. So keep this in mind. As classes will be going on, we will discuss about the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So these are the two main branches of the economics and which are there that we have to understand. So you can just see that the information is given here about the Ragnar Frisch. You can read about it. He coined many terms, many economic terms, and these two terms were some of them. He first coined these terms in 1933. That's why he is said to be the main person, and he was saying that the study of, when you say microeconomics is there, it is the study of individual or individual firm or individual producer. So a specific firm will be studied when you say microeconomics is there. And he referred to the study of aggregate economy as a macroeconomics. Let me give you a simple example. Suppose, let's say that in your family there are 10 members, and you are studying the income of a specific member, the investment pattern of a specific member, the consumption of a specific member, then it would be a subject matter of microeconomics. You are just focusing on a specific individual. And if you are studying, let's say, all the members at the same time, that will be the subject area of macroeconomics. I hope you people are getting it. Then some of the historical background is given here. You can just read that microeconomic analysis was developed first in the ancient time, and it is a kind of traditional approach, and the origin is in the back 18th century. So we have also learned about different kinds of economic school of thoughts in the last standard. Do you people remember that? So there were three school of thoughts which were given in do you know activity. So that was a classical school of thought, neoclassical school of thought, and modern school of thought. And we also learned some of the definitions of the economics which were given there. So basically there were three economists whose definitions were given in the 11th standard, right? Do you people remember it? I hope. And so those three definitions were, let me just give you a brief recap of the definitions if you people could remember it. So the first definition was given by Adam Smith, which was wealth oriented definition, where he was talking about the wealth and the economics. And the second definition was there. So the second definition was given by Alfred Marshall, where he was talking about the welfare oriented definition. Then the third definition was there. So that definition was scarcity oriented, which was given by Robinson. So these were the definitions, and these three were the economists from the classical school of thought, neoclassical school of thought, and the modern school of thought. So we have learned this in the last standard. Now let's see the historical background of the microeconomics. So this microeconomics was there in the ancient time also, And before that, different economists used to use these terms, and Professor Alfred Marshall, in his book Principles of Economics, he has referred this term. He also has worked on this microeconomics. So the historical review of the macroeconomics, let's see that. So it was there in 16th and 17th century. So before microeconomics, macroeconomics was there. So different views were there, different economists have worked on it. So you just read about it and you will understand it. Now let's see that the meaning of the microeconomics. So what is microeconomics? We will see that, and after that we will also see the definitions of the macroeconomics. So when you say microeconomics is there, micro means a small part of a thing. Like we talked about a family. Let's say let's assume that in your family there are 10 members, and as we discussed earlier, what if you are studying just a single person, the pattern of, let's say, consumption, the pattern of investment, the pattern, let's say, taste and habits of that particular person, that will be a subject matter of microeconomics. You are just focusing on a specific person, so this is the subject area of microeconomics. And on the other hand, if you are studying each and every member at the same time, let's say if there are 10 members in your family, so that will be the subject area of macroeconomics. Let me give you another example in order to make the difference clear between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Let's say that there is a tree and you want to study the tree, the functioning of the each and every part of the tree. If you are studying just a one leaf, or let's say a branch of that particular tree, that would be the subject area of microeconomics. The functioning of, let's say, trunk, or let's say one leaf, or let's say one branch of that specific tree, then you can say that this is the subject matter of microeconomics. It will be coming under the category of microeconomics. And on the other hand, if you are studying the whole tree at the same time, the functioning of the whole tree as an aggregate, that would be the subject area of macroeconomics. Hope you people are getting it. You can just see that micro means a small part of a thing, small part of any specific quantity, or let's say any specific firm. So microeconomics thus deals with the small part of the national economy. Let's say if in the economy there are different firms, there are different companies, and if you are just studying just a specific company, or let's say specific firm, that would be the subject area of microeconomics. And if you are studying all the firms at the same time as an aggregate, that will be the subject area of macroeconomics. So the microeconomics studies the economic actions. So in the last standard we have classified our wants, and you people might remember that there were classification of wants which were given. So in the microeconomics we study economic actions and the behavior of individual units. Individual, let's say, person, individual firm, individual producer. So this is the subject matter of microeconomics. So it studies economic actions and behavior of individual units. We have the idea about it, like in the last standard we studied about what is natural science, what is social science. So behavior of a specific individual unit, or let's say specific individual firm, that will be the subject area of the microeconomics. So it studies the behavior of individual unit, such as individual consumer, you and me, we consume, right? So there are different commodities which we consume. So individual consumer will be the subject matter of microeconomics. It is just focusing on a single consumer. And then we have individual producers. So individual producers also will be studied in the microeconomics, like how the producers conduct their productions, so how he spends on the different production factors. So that will be the subject area of microeconomics. Under microeconomics you study the individual units. So in the microeconomics we study individual consumers, individual producers, or a firm. That is what I'm saying. In your economy, let's say there are different firms which are functioning, and if you are just studying a specific firm, then that would be the subject matter of microeconomics. The price of a specific commodity, particular commodity, or a factor. Now, how we study the price of the commodity? So there is a demand and supply. So both the things are needed when the price of the commodity has to be fixed, right? So hope you people are getting that. Microeconomics, just keep this in mind. When you say microeconomics is there, it means that a study of a specific thing, individual unit in the economy, or let's say in any part of the study. If you are studying a specific unit, individual unit, that will be coming under the category of microeconomics. Now let's see that some of the definitions of the microeconomics which are given there, and we will understand them. So the first definition of the microeconomics is given by Morris Dobb, and what he says that microeconomics is nothing but a microscopic study of the economy. So you are studying, you are watching through the microscope, and you just see a specific unit, right? And you select a specific unit, whether that is consumer, whether that is producer, or let's say a commodity, or let's say any firm, and you study that specific unit. The behavior pattern of that specific unit will be studied, and this is why he is saying that when you say microeconomics is there, it means that a microscopic study of the economy. Economy is any part, so that would be anything. And there is one more definition of microeconomics is given here. Economics is different, the microeconomics is different. Getting it? Microeconomics is the part of economics, so this is a branch. Understand? Do not get confused between two terms. Microeconomics and macroeconomics, these are the two branches, main branches of the economics. So the second definition of microeconomics is given here. You can just see that, where Professor AP Lerner is giving you the example of organism. So he is saying that looking at the economy through microscope, right? Looking at economy through the microscope, as it were, to see how the millions of cells in the body of economy, the individuals, or let's say households as a consumers, and individuals or firms as a producers play their part in the working of the whole economic organism. Understand the definitions. Do not just mug up the definitions. That is not going to help you. So what he is saying here, he is using the analogy of body in order to give the example of economy. He is comparing our body with the economy, and he is saying that like in our body there are different cells which functions. In economy also there are different firms, there are different individuals, there are different consumers, producers, which conducts their economic activities. And in our body there are different cells. So if you pick up one cell and you study that cell, that would be the subject matter of microeconomics. In a similar way, if you are going to the economy and if you are picking up a single unit in the economy, whether that is firm, or let's say that is a commodity, or let's say that is a producer, so that would be coming under the category of microeconomic study. So this is what is explained in the AP Lerner's definition of microeconomics. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll meet in the next video.